Okay, good morning, everybody. Wonderful to see such a crowd. Amazing. My name is Tigran Haas, and I'm an associate professor of urban planning and urban design at the School of Architecture and Built Environment at KTH, and also the director of the Center for the Future of Places, which is a co-organizer today with Stipo of this fantastic event called Cities for All, Gentrification, Public Space, and Tools of Placemaking. I only have 5 minutes. But if you can steal a car in 60 seconds, I think I can say quite a few things in 5 minutes. So bear with me. The center, as I said, is a co-organizer, and it's an international research center on public space at KTH. What is our mission, our vision? It's basically a platform which is based on urban environments and social life, a former laboratory I used to run, and also a Future Places International Forum. This was very interesting gathering of 3 strong partners: Project for Public Spaces, PPS, United Nations, UN Habitat in Nairobi, and Axelson Johnson Foundation, which resulted in 3 major conferences on public space that led to Quito World Agenda, Global Agenda in Quito. One always has to show some of the architects, superstars, but we have Bjarke Ingels now that has become a proponent of public space. He said he has learned a lot from Jan Gehl, which is wonderful. And Bjarke is one of those leaders. And this is one of the quotes that I like, actually. And this also speaks to the point that, you know, the work in the cities it's never an ending story. It's all different stories and different layers that come one after the other. So I think we have a lot of work in front of us. So the center's sort of the red thread through our research is the focus on the public realm, on public space. And we had a lot of major outputs last year, the year and a half. We have been there from September 2016 now to, what is it now, April this year. And our annual report is just coming out next week, so I'll be able to send it to all of you so you can see what we have done. But more or less 25 events we have organized. This is one of the events that we are doing now this year with different partners, 13 ongoing research projects on different themes within public space, 6 books, and we have also 5 social media channels. So this is basically the idea in a nutshell. And of course, it's nothing that we're inventing the wheel, but we're returning to certain values that have been sort of a little bit sidetracked. But the center is an interdisciplinary center that is embedded in 2 disciplines, urban planning and urban design. But nonetheless, we work with urban sociologists, with urban economists, with real estate economists, and so on. So we also have a biennial theme, a focus of 2-year theme, which sort of maybe 2 issues that have come out from Quito. And they're more or less in tension, and that is the issues: who owns our cities? Who really owns the buildings, the properties, the public spaces? And also this whole thing of cities for all the whole thing of the struggle for the city. So within that tension, we have built our 13 research projects. I cannot go through all of them. They're here and they're all listed here, but you can look at the webpage and then there will be more information on that. But there's a lot of interesting things that all the different projects that deal from the micro scale to the macro scale, everything from looking at main streets and sort of plot urbanism issues up to the regional scale and social capital. As I said, a lot of events have been done. We have a wonderful crew here today that is also filming this event, KTH Media Production. One thing that I'm very proud of, and it's the only lecture series that features 20 female scholars, leading urban scholars in the world. And now we have gone through 8. We have 14 more, or 16 more. So until the end of this year, you can look at our webpage who is coming, and it's really an amazing series. Partnerships, in the first phases, we are mostly developing partnerships with the research institutions. And some of these partners here, we already developed projects with, for example, ETH Zurich, TU Vienna, TU Berlin, and we're going to develop some more now with LSE and MIT in the coming months. So it's a very strong research partnership, and I think that's one of the big things that also KTH is sort of has as one of these main points, and that's internationalization. So we really take that seriously. And it's a difficult road ahead, swimming in asphalt, but we're happy to be there, and we're happy to do these events with partners like Stipo and others. So if you need to contact us, you can reach us on the World Wide Web through our media channels. and also download our documents. So I think I've used up my 5 minutes, hopefully. So I will leave now the word to my colleague Ragnar Loon to say a few words about an event that is very close to this.
Thank you, Tigran. I just wanted to add some few words to what Tigran has already said. It's so important for us as a research institution to translate research into practice, and also to translate practice into research, because that is really what creates new ideas and new projects in this area. And we are very happy to be part of this event where we gather urban innovators from different fields and that combine different perspectives, and where we can really explore new opportunities in these in this intersection between the developers, municipalities, representatives of cities and communities, and cultural actors. And we are continuing on these themes, and we'll continue with a project on culture, economics, and sustainable urban development, and look further at these issues. For example, value capture. How can cultural actors that create value in an area also take part of the value that they create, and how can we open spaces for them in the long term so they can continue to add value in those areas. So I'm very happy that we are part of this, and it will be very interesting to be part of this event, two-day event, and also for future collaboration and interaction. So I'm leaving the mic to Jeroen.
Thanks a lot. Okay, let's see if this actually works. This is why Yuri is actually here. Juliet, will you also join us on the stage? Hey, it's fantastic to see all of you here. I think we stopped after 170 people. We said, okay, this is enough because we're going to do it in small workshops. But I think we could easily have filled 250 people here just talking about Cities for All. So we want to tell you a little bit about why we're here. But before we do that, there also has to be someone to talk about what we're going to do today. So this is also the moment to give the floor to Yuri. And I think he really already deserves a big applause because he really put this whole conference together.
Thank you, thank you. It's really great to see you all here. It's been 3 intensive months, and I'm really proud that we're all here together. And it's also mostly up to you because you're helping so much, and you've really made it a great experience for all of us. But we're short on time, so let's go to the program for today. Some welcoming words first, and after that we're going to go to our first speaker, who is from New York, Peter Moskowitz, sorry, author of How to Kill a City. Then we're going to go to Michael Mahaffey, who's going to connect the gentrification talks from the US with the European and international context. And then we're going to have a small coffee break, which is also needed then, I guess. Then we're going to go to Maria, who's from London, from the Living Streets organization, and she's going to talk more about her work there. And we're going to finish this morning with a panel discussion with representatives from both the Netherlands and Sweden. The Netherlands was the location of the previous placemaking conference in Amsterdam in October 2017, which was a great success. So we're really looking forward to making just as big as a success of this one. And then afterwards we're going to have a small energizer before we're going to lunch. And we're going to tell you a bit more about the afternoon program after the first talks in the morning.
Sure. Before I give the floor to Juliet, this is the hashtag. So I don't know who still uses Twitter, but go for it. Use the hashtag, because I'm one of those, rare Facebook addicts, but nobody wants to be my friend anymore. It's a very complicated situation. So this is our conference, but it's not our conference, it's your conference, because we put this together with these people and with another 25 people. That's Marco. I told him to take a photo of himself. Another 25 people were not even here on this slide, because this conference is a self-made conference, as we like to do in the European placemaking style. We can only do it together, so let's make it fun and let's make it great together. So these are now the 50 people that started this conference, but we hope that after tomorrow, all 170 of you are going to say, we made the conference a big success. So that's one of the goals that we want to achieve. And the great thing is that we're here from over 20 European countries and some people from the US or from other continents who feel European today, and all from these countries. So just to get a little bit of a feeling who's here, let's just see some hands. First with who's from Sweden? So that's the biggest group. And then who's from the Netherlands? Okay. Let's make it a little bit more exotic then, for us as the Dutch people. So who's from Bulgaria? Where are the Bulgarian crowds? They're always very close together. That's nice. And who's Irish or feels Irish, Wessel? Okay, so it's I'm not going to go through everybody, but so it's great to see all of you here. But in reality, this might be the official first European Placemaking Network Conference, but we did not start today. And we did not start with just preparing this conference. We started last year in Placemaking Week in Amsterdam, which was, of course, is organized by a lot of organizations, but most of all, it's the brainwave and it's the legacy of PPS. So that's why we're extremely excited that Juliet is here to talk with us a little bit about what happened there and how we can take it to the next step. You want to say a few words, Juliet? Yeah.
So hi, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Juliet Khan, and I work at Project for Public Spaces in New York. And last year, we put together a little conference called Placemaking Week in Amsterdam, and I'm guessing some of you probably attended. But we organized this with Stipo and Pakhuis de Zwijger. And one of the key goals of this event was to kick off the European Placemaking Network. Much of this was inspired by PPS's Placemaking Leadership Council, which started a few years ago as a very small group, but it has transformed into a following of almost 2,000 people. So we're in the process of seeing how we can advance this network and change it up a little bit, and part of what we want to gain from this conference is what you might need from these types of networks. So we're going to be looking at both of these concepts, particularly in our workshop later today. Because Placemaking Leadership Council isn't quite a council anymore if it's 2,000 people. So yes, I don't know if you want to say something about the European network.
Sure. So inspired by the Placemaking Leadership Council, at Placemaking Week we got around 80 to 100 people together. And we came up with a little booklet that you all have, in which we put our joint goals. Because we really felt the energy, as we already feel the energy now. There's really something that we can do as European placemakers. So we set this agenda, and I guess what we're going to do in today and tomorrow is take this agenda to the next step. The main thing about the agenda is that it's not our network, it's not the network of PPS and our future of places, etc. It's our network. So we can only make this network, European network, work when we do it together. So one of the goals of the coming days is to find the right kind of organizational structure, the right kind of priorities to get this network going. And some of you who are in the WhatsApp group already saw the balloons and were wondering what we're going to do with that. But there will be a dedicated work session with Sander, where Sander there he is, talking about the priorities for the European Placemaking Network after this morning session. And after that, there will be a lot of plenary moments, and you'll be bothered by a lot of ambassadors of the network to see how we can make it your network. So that's the first goal of this conference. But it's never about the network, it's always about the content. So the second goal is to talk about inclusion and gentrification and segregation. Subjects that we find important in, I think, every European country, and of course also elsewhere. These little maps show the election results in the Netherlands of last month, and we were in shock because they showed which is the biggest party in different areas. I don't have to explain everything, but you can see there's the colors in the center of Amsterdam or Rotterdam below are very different from on the outskirts. And basically these maps show that the Netherlands is also a segregated country. Our cities are also segregated cities, like Stockholm, like a lot of other cities. So how can we deal with all those subjects from gentrification, segregation, and inclusion? How can we use placemaking to find tools for that? So that's the second goal. The third goal is that we want to share our methods. So we bothered a lot of you about give us tools, because we want to start creating an open source European placemaking toolbox. A toolbox that we can all use, a toolbox with tools like the CD at eye level that we made ourselves as TPO, but also a toolbox that we can use to turn into tailor-made toolboxes for each specific situation. And that's also what we want to do tomorrow, because we want to use the toolboxes and all our knowledge to find ways to work together. That's why we find it really important not to just sit here and talk in workshops, but also to go outside to 5 different locations tomorrow morning to work with the local people, with their local issues, on how we can use placemaking tools to get things going. And we've done it before as TPO in the last years all over Europe, but I think with people here we have a fantastic crowd with a lot of wisdom that we really can use in Stockholm. But most of all, let's have fun. Let's make this conference work. And I really think with this fantastic energy that we already have here today, that it's going to be a great success. So thanks a lot and enjoy the days.